Hey, welcome to the GameSkinny News Roundup for the week of August 26th, 2013, with Ryan,
Hey everybody.
Louis,
How you doing?
Haroon,
Hey there.
and I'm your host, Ian M. Today we're covering why League of Legends ladies are too damn sexy for Iran, Nintendo's price-slashing strategies, and their new console, not to mention The Elder Scrolls Online, and Final Fantasy XIV's server troubles. Ba-dum-bum. First up, Nintendo and the Wii U. Nintendo's next generation console was launched last fall, and the deluxe model originally retailed at $349.99. It's now getting a price drop to $299.99 in order to help compete against the PS4 and Xbox One. So, what are your thoughts on that?
As for me, I think that it's a good idea. It has been kind of struggling. The price change will occur on September 20th of this year. In addition, there will be a separate deluxe bundle for the Wii U. It will have the Wind Waker HD that'll be coming out, so it'll be combined with that as a digital download, and there will also be a digital download of the Hyrule Historia book that came out earlier in the year. In addition to the package, including those things, it'll also have a special limited edition Wii U gamepad that will be decorated much in the same way the Zelda 3DS was.
Cool.
What do you think, Louis?
I think that this price drop is coming at a great time right now because when parents are going to the stores to buy a console for Christmas, they're going to see the $500 and $400 consoles, and they're going to be like, that's a little too much. But the price drop is perfect for them right now. So they're going to buy the Wii U, and even though they have been struggling a little bit, I think this is going to be the boost that they need to make sure they don't get left behind in this next generation console war. But speaking of which, Nintendo also has some new plans to release another console, their 2DS model. It's going to try to not replace, but it's an alternative to the 3DS. This one does not have 3D technology, so that's fine, but it doesn't even look like a 3DS anymore. It's just basically a flat little surface, two screens divided by a little piece of plastic. Little different, little unique. What do you think?
Well, Nintendo has said that it's aimed at children as like a starter handheld, because it's not only is not having a 3D a cost-saving thing, it's also a wonderful thing to appease parents who were worried that small children could totally go blind if they used the 3D features found in the 3DS and 3DS XL. So it's also supposed to be more durable because it's meant for smaller children, although I don't understand why Nintendo didn't, make the buttons maybe bigger for the kids that are just developing their fine motor skills, or used the Slate form factor to add an extra battery or bigger screens, but who knows?
And just to add, I think that it's a really good play on Nintendo's part because none of the other major video game manufacturers, Microsoft and Sony, have anything for that market. Mostly that market is dominated by things like the LeapPad. And so with the reduction in price, I think that parents will definitely be more interested in it. Also, as Ian said, the 3D capabilities won't be there, so you don't even have to worry about that. One other thing to mention is since it is no longer a 3DS, usually what the 3DS has, it's a flip-top console. And with that, some people were finding that the hinge would break on them. But with this one, since it's just all a single console itself, you don't have to worry about it breaking.
Yeah, more
so I think that'll
durability.
be, yes, more durable for the children.
Okay,
And
moving on.
other news, League of Legends is having a tournament in Iran for the first time. However, the female champions, most of them anyway, are going to be banned. And this leaves only two female champions in the game that will be playable, which are Annie and Anivia. So that leaves only Alistair, Blitzcrank, Thresh, Taric, and Nunu as playable supports, which eliminates about 11, I believe, champions that are supportive. But what are your thoughts on the matter, Harun?
Oh, well, the thing is about Iran, and it's a Muslim country, and Muslim people are very conservative, and they don't like exposure of anybody, but mostly females. So basically, another thing is they wouldn't want to empower women, I guess, because it's a very conservative Muslim country, and by having female heroes, it gives a sense of empowerment to women, and they're very, what's the word?
Conservative and
Yeah,
modest.
conservative and modest about that. So they really don't want to have that in there.
Speaking of modesty, we've also got a little bit of trouble with Final Fantasy XIV and Square Enix. They really didn't expect this big, massive amount of players to just crush their servers. So, Ryan, I believe you had more info on that?
Yes. When Final Fantasy XIV, before the release, they had a special access period of which players who pre-ordered the game can have early access and get a taste of what it will be like before everybody else had a chance to play. In that, though, Square Enix had underestimated the amount of people who would actually be wanting to play the game, given how the game went over the first time it was released. Therefore, there were many people who experienced login errors, and they could not actually play the game that they paid for. One thing, however, that Square Enix has actually done is they restricted the creation of players on servers. So if you go to play the game, you won't be able to create a new character, so you wouldn't really actually be able to play unless you already created a character.
Right.
Now, the reason why they're doing that is so that people who had already bought the game will be able to play. And it's unfortunate to the people who are just now buying the game, they won't be able to make a character, but Square Enix just posted today that they will be updating their servers and have it all implemented by this coming Monday, I believe, the beginning of next week.
Yes, but don't forget that even though digital sales have been suspended, you can still pick up a hard copy in stores. So even though you won't be able to play it until the server issues have been resolved, at least you can install it and be ready to go. And I think that's okay, but I really feel that this was terrible planning on Square Enix's part, seeing as Final Fantasy, even though it started out as, the last game ever from the devs at Square, it's now their flagship franchise, and they really should have expected such a high volume of players and should have been better prepared with server loads. I mean, especially after all the server issues that have plagued other online games like the recent SimCity release and before that Diablo 3. So, speaking of online games, we've also got some news that The Elder Scrolls Online is not only having a pay for the game fee, a monthly fee, and a microtransaction store. So, Haroon, would you mind covering that?
Yeah, well, basically it's going to have a $15 subscription fee for PC and consoles. And not only that, it's going to have a microtransaction store, so you're going to buy cosmetics and stuff like that from the microtransactions, which is ridiculous, especially for a retail game, which costs $60, and if they have a collector's edition, even more. And then they also have the possibility of having the subscription fees for the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live also added on that. So it's going to be a hell of a huge cost just to play an MMO, which you could probably find a free-to-play even better.
Yep. But
As a console player, especially, I was really excited for this. One, because I really love the Elder Scrolls series, and I was kind of excited that this was going to be my first real venture into MMOs. But all these nickel and diming, and I'm paying for my my Xbox Live subscription, then I'm going to have to be paying an extra monthly fee, and then, of course, I'm going to fall into the temptation of those small microtransactions for a pretty set of armor. It's kind of put me off on the whole idea completely. I'm not going to buy it anymore, which really sucks. Maybe I'll go look up some videos online. I just won't be able to experience it firsthand.
Yep. I would just like to point out that I don't understand why people are complaining, because WoW has been doing this sort of crap for years. And they've been very successful at it. So Blizzard has proven that this probably won't hurt the Elder Scrolls player base much. It may crush the number of people on consoles, but PC will probably still have a strong user base. And that's the roundup for the week of August 26th. Tune in next time when we cover everything PAX Prime. All you could ever need to know about PAX Prime. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. And follow us on Twitter at GS Roundtable. If you can't wait until our roundup of PAX Prime coverage, you can check out GameSkinny.com, where we have tons of correspondents who are at PAX Prime and will cover all the news as they happen, as it happens. I'm not sure how to phrase that. Can we cut this out? Anyway, check out GameSkinny.com in the meantime for all your live PAX Prime updates and your gaming needs. And don't forget to use the hashtag #ObscuritySucks, because it does a lot.